You get quite a view of the old town from the top of the hill. We're looking down now into the Plaka, where we'll be shortly taking a walk. We'll be doing some shopping down there in just a moment. A view of the ancient Agora, and this is the best preserved temple in all of Greece. It's standing today in the heart of Athens in the Agora.
Another view of the Agora, the ancient marketplace. It's often overlooked by the visitors, but it has some impressive monuments like this smaller version of the Parthenon. And just next to the Agora is a modern marketplace of Athens. It's called Monastiraki. It blends into the Plaka. Monastiraki is termed the flea market, especially on a Sunday morning. You'll find all kinds of junk for sale here at the Monastiraki. The regular shops are open every day, but on Sundays it gets quite interesting with all of this sidewalk action. People selling their personal goods, just trying to move some things on the cheap. And they're selling in the street, sitting back on their sofas with a couple of beers, waving to friends going by. This is really what you call a street market. Even if you're not in the market to buy some junk, it's really a lot of fun to walk around through here. And the shops have good values on clothing and souvenirs in the Monastiraki as well. When you're ready for a nice break, head up to the top of Kabuto Hill. This is where you get the commanding view over the city. A view of the Parthenon and downtown. And there's an excellent restaurant, Dionysus, at the top of Kabutos. They serve a wide variety of foods. You can get your Greek foods or spaghetti or what have you. It's easy to get there. You just take this funicular up to the top, and then when you come down from Kabutos, you can just walk back into the center of town. It's only about a mile and it's mostly downhill, and it takes you right through the most fashionable part of Athens, the Kolonaki district. Lots of trendy cafes and fancy little boutiques. There's several blocks that are quite charming. Siri is another part of town that's up and coming as a trendy neighborhood. It's kind of a formerly rundown place that's turning into a artsy district like Soho of Athens. Another must-stop on your visit to Athens is the Archaeological Museum. This is really where the treasures are at. They've got several full-sized bronze statues, a lot of marble statues, pieces dating from the classic as well as archaic. You'll find lots of gold jewelry, expressive statues from the classic and the Hellenistic period, which was about 300 BC during the time of Alexander. And it's just the full range here at the Archaeological Museum. Interesting to see the old jewelry, very similar to today's modern jewelry, even though it's about 2,500 years old. And some earlier ceramics from the Archaic period, which was about 700 BC through 500 BC. And you can see the realistic faces of the statues of the classical. There's some huge pieces here, this giant vase and the kouros, 19-foot tall human statues.
In the next moments, you'll see very clearly the difference between modern Athens, which is a jumble of concrete, and the old town, the Plaka, which is a handcrafted relic of an ancient city that goes back hundreds of years. Now, modern Athens, as we have shown you, is interesting. It's nice. It has many fine shops and restaurants and nice streets. But the real heart of town is here in the Plaka. Our Hawaii group enjoying a morning stroll when it's not very crowded. It gets busier throughout the day, and then it's at its most crowded in the evening, especially in the summertime. That's why we're happy to be here during the off-season. We're traveling in the month of March, which is a very good time to visit Greece. And you'll find the Plaka so interesting that you probably would want to go back, like us, to see it in the morning, go back for lunch, and drop in the evening for some of the great entertainment. There's also a lot of the old archaeological sites around the edges of the Plaka itself. Here we see the old Agora, the ancient marketplace of old Greece. This neighborhood is not very large. It's about 6 blocks wide and about 10 blocks long. And within this, you'll find a fascinating honeycomb of streets and friendly locals and other tourists out for the day shopping. A nice place to pick up some imitation Greek pottery, imitation of the ancient classical type. It's handmade and it's made right here in Greece. Another nice thing about the Plaka is these shops are open all day long. There's no siesta for most of the shops, and they're open on holidays, they're open on Sundays. It's open all the time. Good place to buy fresh sponges as well. Most of them coming from the Mediterranean waters of the Greek Isles. You can do a little bit of bargaining, but most of the prices in the shops are fixed. Of course, if you're buying a lot of goods, you can do some bargaining and get the price down a little bit. Another nice aspect of the Plaka is the large number of shops, which means that you have a wide range of prices to choose from, a wide range of quality. You can buy the little postcards, you can buy little knickknacks for a few dollars, or you can spend a lot of money and buy some genuine antiques, or if you just want a good quality reproduction, you might find little statues for $40 and $50. You certainly don't have to shop to enjoy the pleasures of the Plaka, for its beauties are all around you and the sights are free. One of the favorite activities of the seasoned traveler is sitting at a sidewalk cafe and watching the people go by while you carefully nurse your drink. You can sit here for an hour with a cup of coffee or a beer and just relax, enjoy yourself, perhaps strike up a conversation with some locals. It's a miracle that this neighborhood has survived. After all, the modernization of Athens during the 1930s, 40s, the 1950s destroyed most of the old buildings of the city and replaced them with formless concrete, but not in the Plaka. By some chance it was preserved and then it survived its over-commercialism of the 1960s. It became a very tacky tourist rip-off place, but not any longer. It's regained its charm as an authentic locale, and locals live here. Locals come out and sit at the cafes and dine at the restaurants, and they also enjoy the music in the tavernas, as we're about to do, coming right up now, after we check the menu and pick out a good restaurant.
Yes, 2,400 with rice and potato.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Houses.
We talk about a full plate, nice portion, and not disappointed here. Nobody's disappointed in this place. Take a look at the atmosphere. Inside, madam, inside. Soup you cannot
Okay, let's see.
Thank you very much. Come in.
Oh, you'll find that in the Plaka there is an almost unlimited number of restaurants of all varieties. You can sit outside, it's wonderful when the weather is nice, or you can sit inside. There's takeout places, there's sandwich joints, gyros joints, or you can sit down to a deluxe meal. So you're going to have a lot of opportunities for great food in the Plaka.